Morning, guys. Mark Fresh with Protect Dog Training. It's a beautiful day today after the storm blew through finally. A little bit of snow still up on the hills up there. That's amazing to me. It's going into June already and we still got a winter pattern coming here. It's not very normal for us at all because we're in the high desert, so this is usually past. Let me get a shot of Loki as we come out. He's still biting on my heels. No, I could be real tough with this and really come down on him hard like a hammer. No, but if I did, I'd hurt our relationship. No. Good, you go potty, go on, go potty. So it's better that I just take my no that I've already established. He knows what it means by now. I've cuffed him a few times. And then just kind of be kind with it and then keep him going. After a while, the contextual aspects of this will have a play in it, and also maturity and growth. So, but we did need to go through that aversive stage to kind of show him respect and to get him balanced. Everything's balanced, okay? I can't go crazy and go beating up the dog with what I call a bat. I always tell my customers this. I can't take a bat and beat my dog up and expect him to work for me. It has to be bond. It has to be something that the dog wants. We got a question this morning on one of the places that I leave my videos. And the person was asking about food and when can I say that the dog is working for me and not for the food. Okay, that's how he coached it. And in a nutshell, yeah, there's a process of weaning the dog off the food and getting him away from that as the motivator. But I replied with a reply that's very dog trainer mentality. I mean, you got to respect the fact that I've been doing this so many years that you end up learning to carry yourself and to manage the animal in such a way that you're much more aware of what makes the dog tick. And the biggest thing that people do, and we call it anthropomorphizing or whatever the big old word is, you humanize your dog, okay? And you treat him like that he's a part of your human family, and you humanize him. And there's an old saying that goes, if you treat a dog like a baby, he'll treat you like a dog. Well, you're humanizing. You want to coddle. You want to, that's not a thing that you can't have in your relationship. You can, but you have to really get down to brass tacks. This dog is not doing anything for you, okay? He's doing something for what makes him tick. And all we're doing is we're taking those drives, food, motivation, ball, chasing prey, going after things. We're using these drives that the dog naturally, instinctively has. And if we've got a dog like Loki here with the genetic stamp that he has, we use those drives to direct that in training to the point where the dog is doing what we want, okay? But don't ever fool yourself that this dog is doing what he's doing because he loves you and he wants to please you. Does he love you? There's a certain aspect? Sure he does. There's a bond that's involved with this. But you are his pack leader. Does that mean that pack leader means you have to be dominant and be an asshole? No. It means that you need to understand how to integrate him into a pack, and you have to think like a pack animal. You have to think that what you're doing in molding and shaping this animal's behaviors is nothing more than tricking the dog for what he wants. He's not doing what he's doing because he wants to please you, okay? He's doing what he's doing because it's part of his survival instincts that have been imprinted into him from genetics for thousands of years, okay? You need to not humanize your dog. When you do that, you end up having problems, okay? I'll have dogs that come to me that they're a neurotic mess because their owners sit there and foo-foo them too much and treat them like a human baby, okay? And that's a big part of our problem behavior that comes from dealing with dogs is people don't understand this. And they humanize their dog, and then with that becomes a neurotic mess, okay? So what I'm trying to teach you guys when I'm giving you these videos is a lot about understanding the way a dog ticks, okay? Now we're using food as a lure, okay? And that lure is what the dog wants. He wants that food. And we will manipulate that in many different ways in such a way that we can get the dog to work for us. Now here come the PETA crowd. The PETA crowd will come out of the woodwork, and their whole belief and their philosophy that's really deep down, and they keep whittling at the cheese, slow but sure, trying to make sure that we don't even have any animals in our environment at all because the animals deserve to not have us in their environment. Okay, it doesn't matter what animal. That's PETA. Okay, and that's a joke in itself. Okay. Animals are a resource that we've used for thousands of years to survive and get by. We eat meat, we eat pigs, we survive, just like these animals survive. They're with us because of a survival instinct that says it's a lot easier to use us for what they need in survival than it is to survive out in the wild. There's a reason that they ended up incorporating themselves into our environment, other than, you know, us using them and them using us. It's a mutual relationship, but they're not a human. And when you treat them like a human, you're going to end up with problems. So we'll talk more about the weaning the dogs off the food and all that as we go along. We're going to get into that. But to realize we're only manipulating the dog's drives and getting the dog to do what we want. And it's a mutual relationship. And there is a bond there. There is a definite, really cool thing that happens. I mean, I love my dogs. And I'd like to think that they love me. But they're not protecting you either because they're trying to protect you. They're protecting you because you're part of their pack. Okay, so we'll get into a lot of this as we go along, because I'd like to get a lot more people to understand that what goes on here. Where I'm not a magician. I always tell my customers that I get going and I talk about robot syndrome. Robot syndrome is what I coin, is what the expectations of my customers that come at me think, because they see me out here doing all this fancy stuff with my dogs, and the dog's working for me, and they watch TV and Rin Tin Tin, and these imprints that are on you from media that comes at you, and how you conceive that, what your conceptions are of that. And when you come to me, you end up thinking that a dog is a robot, okay? That you're going to end up taking this dog home and he's going to be like a machine. He's not. He's a living, breathing animal that requires you to be knowledgeable and to understand how to operate the machine, the dog. And here I am saying he's not a robot. He's not. He's got a lot of emotional ability. He's got a lot of things that make him tick, that make him one of the greatest animals, as far as I'm concerned, that we have on Earth. The dog is an amazing thing, but he's not a robot. Okay, so we'll get into that as we go along as well. Again, trying to impress upon you with some of my philosophies and feelings, what a dog's really all about. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day. This is a little long-winded for my opening video in the morning. I'll talk to you later. And notice I'm just leaving him alone. I'm letting him experience this independence is what I want. I want him to have his own brain and his own stuff. So that reliance on me, all the chattering and all that stuff that I do, another trainer might look at me and think that I have my dogs too dependent on me. And there's a balance. There's a balance in everything we do. I call it the yin and yang of training. We'll go over that more as we go along. So I'll talk to you guys later. We'll have another video coming up later this morning. Thanks. Bye-bye.